Hello everyone, how's it going? So this was a pretty, wow, banger of a news story that just came out recently. Phil Spencer retired and Sarah Bond out. Matt Booty promoted as Microsoft AI executive. Asha Sharman named new Xbox boss. This is quite insane. Now Phil Spencer has had a colorful career as the head of Xbox. And a lot of people do cite, including myself, as the one who did save Xbox from oblivion. Granted, his more recent decisions haven't been exactly popular, such as when he bought ZeniMax Media and all their IPs, and then of course Activision Blizzard, and well, Xbox has been in the worst state that it's ever been. I don't well, maybe not as bad as the Xbox One with the Kinect 2.0, but I feel like a lot of people have become more compliant when it comes to cameras in their faces and the stuff that's happening right now with AI. Like, oh my god. But he did do a lot of more popular decisions in the sense that if it wasn't for him, I think Xbox would have died a lot sooner. Nowadays, they really don't care anymore. It's more about the service, and even that, they're shooting themselves with the foot with Xbox Game Pass. But let's read this article. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer, who has been in Microsoft since he joined as an intern in 1988, that was even before I was born, and with Xbox since the software giant launched its first console in 2001, is retiring. Sources familiar with the matter, who are not authorized to speak publicly, confirmed to IGN Spencer's retirement is effective on Monday, February 23rd. Meanwhile, Xbox President Sarah Bond, long thought by many both inside and out of Microsoft to be Spencer's heir, apparently has resigned. Now, the thing about this is actually pretty shocking because hours before she even made this announcement, this is literally 16 hours before she made the announcement that she was leaving Xbox, she had this: we love accessibilities and how to play, so we continue improving Xbox accessibility features. Now, this doesn't sound like someone who was about to literally just quit their job. This sounds like someone who was literally just, coming into work like every day. This is just my hypothesis, and hear me out here. I think what happened was that when they announced this entire shift of executive leadership, Sarah Bond made an ultimatum: either I am the new boss or I walk. Like, a lot of executives actually do this type of a Hail Mary, where they're like, give me what I want or I'm leaving. So I think that's what happened, that once they said, no, this is what's going to happen, she just said, okay, that's it, I'm out. Like, that's just what it seems like. That's just my hypothesis. The new CEO of Microsoft Gaming would be Asha Sharman, currently the president of Microsoft's Core AI product, which, oh my god, like, dude, Microsoft is trying to shove down this AI product down everyone's throat. Not just Microsoft, but Google, Amazon, everyone. And look, I use AI, but I only use it for like search and stuff. Like, even then it gets a lot of things wrong. Like, I was recently replaying Resident Evil 1 HD. It could not tell the difference, even though I typed in Resident Evil 1 HD, from the original Resident Evil from the PlayStation era. So the AI work is just still very flawed. Regardless, like, the way they use it in more complicated tasks like gaming and all that, it's not great. It's really bad. And seeing that they keep trying to force this onto customers like they did with the Black Ops 7, I don't know. Like, they invest so much money into this stuff, and I think this will be the year that will make it or break it, because right now a lot of people are just fed up with AI right now. A lot of people hate it. In fact, I see a lot more people saying they will buy a product if it doesn't include AI, especially when it comes to phone services, and the fact that they're literally making everything expensive for the sake of just generating like videos with Will Smith eating spaghetti and other misinformation, AI slop. I know I got a lot of issues with AI. It's just like it's being used more for insidious means than for the benefit of everyone else. Finally, Xbox Game Studios head Matt Booty is promoted to Chief Content Officer and will work closely with Sharman. Now, Matt Booty has kind of had a very controversial history when it comes to Xbox. I think the reason he's being promoted is because he's a veteran, and I don't think anyone else is very qualified to take the job. But it's also very strange. They just kind of shoved this random person into this position instead of Matt Booty. Even though, again, he's controversial within Xbox's community, it's still like he has more experience, I would assume, and people know who he is. Like, if you're going to pick someone who's literally needs to be a forward-facing figure within the Xbox community, which they desperately need right now, picking an unknown person just doesn't seem the route, especially someone who is linked to something extremely controversial and something deeply negative within the gaming community. Like, a lot of people don't really like AI, and well, it's just the way things are. I know a lot of people will say things like, oh, it could be used for like just generating ideas and maybe baseline images, but it's still seen very negatively as far as I can tell among a lot of people. I want to thank Phil for his extraordinary leadership and partnership. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said in an email sent to Microsoft staff, over 38 years in Microsoft, including 12 years leading gaming, Phil has helped transform what we do, and how we do it. Full emails from Nadada, Spencer, Sharman, and Booty are below. So he's just given the traditional CEO talk. Spencer, in his email to Microsoft staff, said in part, last fall I shared with Sati that I was thinking about stepping back and starting the next chapter from my life. From that moment, we allied, approaching this transition with intention, ensuring stability, and strengthening the foundation we built. Xbox has been more than a business. It's a vibrant community, players, creators, and teams who we deeply about what we build and how we build it, and it deserves a thoughtful, deliberate plan for the road ahead. Today marks an exciting new chapter for Microsoft Gaming as Ashi Sharman steps into the role of CEO, and I want to be the first to welcome her to this incredible team. Working with her over the past several months has given me tremendous confidence. She brings genuine curiosity, clarity, and deep commitment to the understanding of players, creators, and the decisions that shape our future. We know this is important for our fans, partners, and team, and we're committed to getting it right. It will remain an advisory role through the summer to support a smooth handoff. Again, more PR speak. It's very well written, but it says nothing basically. It just says she's taken the position. Really doesn't give confidence within the Xbox brand, considering it's been the lowest it's ever been. They're releasing more special edition controllers than quality games. Like, the recent releases of games have not been good. The Outer Worlds 2 flopped so hard that literally Obsidian said don't expect an Outer Worlds 3. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is basically the worst game in the entire franchise. Call of Duty is literally plummeting. Not to mention Halo is now gone multi-platform. It's coming to PlayStation, which I'm all for. Like, more people can enjoy one of the best games on Xbox, but that means Xbox it no longer has a flagship franchise. They've literally gone multi-platform while still developing a console per se, when in the sense that consoles are completely useless to Xbox nowadays, because they're more expensive and there's no reason to get one, seeing that, well, I don't know how much true that is now, but you can still genuinely get a PC that's stronger and better than an Xbox for the same price. So right now, Xbox has no flagship franchise. Gears of War is in the toilet, Halo's in the toilet, Banjo-Kazooie hasn't seen a new game in ever. Like, they have so many great IPs and they're doing nothing with them. Not to mention their brand, their connection to gamers, the over expense of their pricing models. It's just, everything is all over the place. So, look, maybe this change might be beneficial, you never know, but from all the decisions they've made, from the 30% profit margin by perspective, Nintendo's profit margin is 20 to 22%, which is like they're the top dog in the gaming industry. I know a lot of people have negative things to say about Nintendo, but Nintendo literally can do whatever they want and still succeed because they are one of the biggest video game developers and product manufacturers in the world. Like, they are huge. They're literally a cultural icon among Japan, but they want 30% somehow. I don't really know how they come up with these numbers, but whatever. Let's read the article. Sharman is a former VP of product and engineering at Meta. Okay, that's not installing confidence. And former Instacart COO, who is also a board member of the Home Depot. Like, what? So Meta, I can see that, but Instacart and Home Depot, like, how does that correlate to gaming? That makes no sense. Like, there's actually a real, like, annoyance that comes to a lot of people who are in these very high-level positions, that they just bounce from one company to the next that have no connection to one another other than, hey, my brother knows the CEO of Verizon, so can you hire them? Basically mentality, nepotism. But I'm not saying that's true here, but like, when you read all of this, like, yeah, product and engineering at Meta, but we see how horrible Meta is when it comes to game development. They literally shut down how many VR studios despite having incredible VR games. Look, I don't really play VR. The only VR game I played was the Batman Arkham game, but that thing was freaking amazing. I was like, holy crap, because I always thought of VR games as just being like gimmick games, but when I played it, I was like, this is actually really good. I also played Resident Evil VR thanks to my friend that she let me play her copy, and I was like, this is really good. Capcom did a really good job when it came to their VR games, but they shut that down, so doesn't install confidence now, does it? She joined Microsoft in 2024, so she's only been in the company for 2 years, and they're making her in charge of Xbox? What? What? In her email to Microsoft, like, it just, that lends more, like, credibility to my theory that Sarah Bond literally gave them an ultimatum. Like, you've only been in this company for 2 years, and then you're just given the leadership role at one of their biggest brands. Like, I know Xbox is, like, in the lower end of the totem pole compared to their other stuff, but Xbox is one of their biggest forward-facing brands. Like, a lot of people know what Xbox is, and it's linked to Microsoft. So, what? In her email to Microsoft staff, she wrote in part, "My first job is simple. Understand what makes this work and protect it." Wait, what? You should know you should know this already. Oh, well, that's not good. That starts with 3 commitments. First, great games. Everything begins here. We must have great games beloved by players before we do anything. Well, they're not really succeeding on that. Like, literally, Halo is failing, and it's their biggest franchise. It's literally what Xbox is. Unforgettable character stories that make us feel, innovative gameplay, and creative excellence. That's a lot of word salad. We will empower our studios, invest in iconic franchises, and back bold new ideas. You guys haven't been doing that, though. Like, I get that she just started this role. She hasn't really been sworn in, but at the same time, Microsoft has not been doing that. They literally went multi-platform. At this point, why even make a new Xbox? Well, technically, they're not even making an Xbox. The rumors that it's just going to be a hybrid PC with the Xbox logo on it, like a Chromebook, basically. But, like, they haven't been doing this. Look, almost every time something like this happens, there is a huge amount of layoffs. I mean, right now, layoffs have been happening, like, freaking new, I can't, like, I'm just, like, I don't know. I just don't believe anything they say. We will take risk. I'll see that when I believe it. We will enter new categories and markets where we can add real value grounded in what players care about most. Okay, that actually makes me very concerned when they say this stuff. Whenever they say that stuff, it usually means new monetization practices. Like, right now, gaming has gone big with gambling. And, I promoted Matt Booty in honor of this committed. Oh, so she promoted Matt Booty. So I guess Sharma, she was like, hey, I want this guy on my side. So, okay, that makes sense. He understands the craft and the challenges of building great games, has led teams that deliver award-winning work, and has earned the trust of developers across the industry. We'll see about that. Second, the return of Xbox. We will recommit our core Xbox fan and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, to the developers that build expansive universes and experiences that are embraced by players across the world. Well, we'll see that if there are no layoffs. Look, I know I keep, like, saying that comically, but, like, look what's happening right now in the last year and a half. Like, everything. We will celebrate our roots and renowned commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped to who we are. Are you going to lower the price of the freaking $600 Xbox console that no one needs because everything's on PC? Or how about the $30 price tag for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate? Like, it also connects us to the players who have invested in Xbox and the developers who build ambitious experiences for it. Oh my god. Let's read on. Maybe something here will give me some hope. Gamers now live across devices, not within limits of any single piece of hardware. There it is. There it is. Okay, there, it just solidifies everything that I know that's gonna happen. No more consoles, no more exclusives, streaming, ad streaming games, which they're already testing right now. So, yep, right here, this line right here just convinced me. This is what we're gonna start. We're gonna end up paying to reload our guns, like that CEO of EA said. I forgot who said. I think. It's been so long, I don't remember his name. I don't really care to look it up because it was so horrible when he said that. As we expand across PC, mobile, and cloud, Xbox should feel seamless, instant, and worthy of the communities we serve. We will break down barriers so developers can build once and reach players everywhere without compromise. Basically, the Google Stadia, the mantra before that completely collapsed. Look, Xbox was doing a good job with that. But nowadays, no one trusts them because they're literally just sinking monetization into everything like ad-supported streaming unless you pay for the $30 a month Xbox Game Pass, which, by the way, if you don't keep paying for that, you lose access to those games that you put so much money and time into. And if you bought DLC for those games, well, you're out of luck because you're going to have to either resubscribe to Xbox Game Pass or you're going to have to buy the game outright. So they don't tell you that, and a lot of people are very annoyed. I'm like, what do you think was going to happen? It was all over Reddit when people were like, hey, I can't access the game. Well, of course not. Like, it's common sense, but at the same time, I can see why people are annoyed. There should be a warning that says that. Third, future of play. We are witnessing the reinvention of play to meet the moment. We will invent new business models and new ways to play by learning of what we already have, iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people we love, but we will not treat those worlds as static IPs to milk and monetize. Sure. We will build shared platforms and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. This is just more word salad. As monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not change short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. There it is. Really, because your CEO was so adamant of us not calling it AI slop, despite the fact it is still AI slop. Like, YouTube is flooded with this stuff. They're trying to fight back against this. I saw a lot of, like, channels get demonetized for just putting out shoddy AI work. There's also, like, it's like everywhere, and at this point, like, they put so much money behind AI, hundreds of millions of dollars. So many companies have exited the consumer market just to fill AI quotas, because that's where the money is, where they're basically borrowing money in order to develop these data sensors for, I don't even know what exactly these are for, because as far as I can tell, people just use it for literally monetizing fake content all over the internet, or just creating slop all over with images that they sell at arts shows. Like, it's basically just seems like, you know, worthless crap that people are making, and I haven't really seen an argument for this to really be impactful other than making some cheap knockoff content. I don't know. I just don't see the value in this. I'm an idiot, though, by the way, so I don't know. I'm not as smart as these people, but the fact they keep pushing Copilot to so many people and keep forcing them to try and adapt these new practices when they don't want to. Like, it reminded me a lot of Horizon Worlds with Meta, where they were forcing their employees to use this stuff. They had huge presentations where people would use their VR headset for everything. It was literally something out of a dystopian cyberpunk universe, or like that episode of South Park where Cartman was sitting on his chair with his VR headset like this, where he looked like basically a zombie. It just reminds me so much of that, and this is what they're trying to push onto people, and a lot of people, thankfully, are saying no to this stuff. Games are not and always will be art crafted by humans and create the most innovative technology provided to us. I'm almost certain that she was only given this position because she was part of the AI development, and they've invested so much money now that they have to have this person force this onto the developers. Because, I mean, some developers have come up onto YouTube and said AI was quick to make the code, but it cost just as much time to literally search through the code and debug it. Like, so it's basically a waste of time. I mean, it's going to get better as time goes on, but for now, it's just like, using it is just so boring. And by the way, AI can't create anything new. It literally feeds on other people's works. It needs other people to create whatever it does, so it can't make anything new. Booty sent an email to Microsoft staff. Looking forward, I'm excited to partner with Asha and our next CEO. Our first conventions centered on her commitment on creating great games and the roles that players in our overall success. She asks questions, pushes for clarity, and wants our choices. This is just a lot of word salad. I'm just going to speed run through this. Yeah, more word salad. Most of this is just PR speak. So, yeah, this is, very shocking. I really think that when Phil Spencer announced his retirement, I think it's because the Xbox division has not been doing as well as they wanted to. It's not making that 30% that they are hoping for, which is just alarming and completely out of touch. I also think that, like, let's face it, during the holiday season, they literally lost to a gimmick console. That little toy console that's basically a Kinect ripoff. I shouldn't say a ripoff, but it's basically the Kinect 2.0 just in a little box. It literally lost to that thing. And I think that Saudi saw that, and he's like, we gave you millions of dollars. You bought Activision Blizzard, you bought ZeniMax Media, you bought Double Fine, Ninja Theory, all these companies. You were banking and tripling down on Game Pass, and you didn't get the numbers that you were hoping for because Microsoft, they want that return on investment. I can't blame them. I think the biggest mistake was buying Activision Blizzard. I think what they should have done was literally pad as much titles onto Game Pass, keep developing the first-party titles. Do not put them on Game Pass, but instead offer them as a discount for Game Pass subscribers, which is now becoming more of an issue because nowadays you literally need to buy a subscription just to gain access to sales. I mean, how many people have seen this? Like, in order for you to get Target and Walmart sales, you need to literally be part of their, like, Plus program. Same thing for Game Pass. I stopped subscribing to Game Pass once they did the $30 thing, and so many of the sales items are literally Game Pass only. And then that fell through. Call of Duty was doing horribly, and Bobby Kotick came out and said, yeah, he made the deal because Call of Duty has been literally going down. It's like with Avatar. Like, the first Avatar film did great, then the second Avatar film did great, but it went down, and then the third Avatar film did also get great. It made over $1 billion, but like each film made over $1 billion, but the number has been going like this. Like, eventually it's just going to go to a point where they just can't sustain themselves, and I feel like that's what Game Pass. Eventually you're going to reach a apex point, and all you can do is go down. There are just so many people who have so much money. Right now people are dealing with a lot of financial crunch. There are not enough jobs that are keeping up with wages. People can't afford basic things because of AI making everything more expensive, and now you want people to spend $600 on a system that they don't need, that doesn't offer any type of benefit that a PC doesn't give players. Like, you can literally use the Xbox app literally and just get achievements that way. That's what I've been doing. And like, Microsoft doesn't even have any IPs anymore. Like, literally everything is multi-platform. I think at this point they should just say, okay, no more Xbox, we're going multi-platform, and that's it. Like, do what Sega did. But the other issue with that is that they have an entire Xbox store, so they can't essentially just completely exit out, because I feel like that would be a can of worms because everyone who spent money on the Xbox store. But yeah, tell me, what do you think about all of this? I think that this is literally like the end of Xbox at this point. I think the next generation, we're going to have the PS6, the Nintendo Switch 3, and then Xbox is just going to be like, okay, we're an app on your PC now, but you need to use Windows 11 in order for us to for you to use it. And if you don't use it, you can't access our store anymore. And then people are going to be like, okay, then I'm just going to go to Steam. Yeah, at this point, this is really bad to be an Xbox gamer, especially someone like me who has over 400,000 gamer score and spent thousands of dollars on this console. I think now I just literally buy everything for Sony and Nintendo. I stopped buying games on Xbox nowadays unless it's cheaper there. But tell me, what do you think in the comments below? Do you think that Phil just got out when the getting is good? What do you think about the situation of Sarah Bond? And what is your take on all of this about the basically the head of AI taking over for Xbox after being in a company for 2 years? That is wild. That is a very like huge spike. It's like she paid for the level 60 boost in World of Warcraft. Just like, yeah, up there now. Anyway, tell me what you think, and that's it from me. Bye.